Hey nerds, welcome back to the What Are You Nerdy About podcast, part of Nerdstalgia in the Citadel Mall of Colorado Springs. Wanted to come on with a new episode and talk nerdy with you. We are part of Nerdstalgia. We're in the Colorado Springs Citadel Mall. We're downstairs from the food court. We are right inside the Platt and Shelton entrance. Real easy to get in and out of. Don't think of it as a big old mall you got to walk through to find us. Real easy to get in and out. Check us out. Come play some games with us. Come check out some old merch. Let us know what you're nerdy about. So we do have our grand opening party coming up on the 24th of January. That's going to be a great time. You want to be there for that. Whether you're into live music, cosplay, photo ops, unique merch, vendors, or pro wrestling, or just like a pop culture event in the Springs. I mean, when have you ever seen pro wrestling in the mall, other than the 4th Pro? So,
Yes.
we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a good time. That's gonna kick off at 11 a.m. when the mall opens. We're gonna be doing one match an hour for 5 hours. So the last match will start at 3 o'clock. They'll be cleaned up and out of there by 4. That doesn't mean the party stops. All the vendors will be there until the mall closes at 8. We'll have sales in the store. We'll have appearances by Fonte Flame, spitting little mini sets in the back of the store between matches. You want to come by, support the store, support something happening that's going to be pretty cool. And hey, costs you nothing to come, but we hope you support us being there this week. Oh, and check us out Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then Sundays it's 11 a.m. to 6, and we're closed on Mondays. We are here this week with SLIKK Tyson Stone. How you doing,
Hello,
Tyson?
hello. I'm good. And yourself, sir?
I'm great, man. I get to talk nerdy with people, and it's always fun to do that, man. Whether it's something
Oh,
I'm
it's
nerdy
right up my alley.
and I'm learning about.
It's right up my alley.
Yeah. So you do a little bit of things that we nerds love. We got people that
Right.
are nerdy about all kinds of things, and one of the things that anybody that knows me very long knows I'm nerdy about pro wrestling. So
Right.
do a little bit of that pro wrestling stuff yourself.
Yes, I do. I am nerdy about pro wrestling, and also I am nerdy about video games, which that should be a given. And it's funny because when they ask me like, "Oh yeah, well, how long have you been watching wrestling?" Most people say the Attitude Era, and I go further back actually. So I'm from Columbus, Georgia, and that's like WCW territory. So I don't know if you
Oh
remember
yeah,
back in the day when TBS, where wrestling started at 6:05, not 6 o'clock,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and my favorite wrestler, as much as I like Ric Flair, I had two favorite wrestlers in WCW, which was Arn Anderson and Ron Simmons.
Oh, all right.
Those, in fact, I know this is probably going to be a wrestling hot take, but I'm going to say it anyway. Ric Flair was like the figurehead, but Arn Anderson was the backbone.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't think there would be a Horseman without Arn
He named him,
because yes,
and we called
he named the horsemen. I remember that promo where he said there are four horsemen that there shouldn't be. Per se, he said there's not been this much violence since the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and that's where it stuck. And it was the original iteration. It was J.J. Dillon, Ric Flair, Ole Anderson, and Arn Anderson. And there was another one on that one.
it.
Yeah, I think Tully
J.J.
Blanchard.
Dillon. You had Tully
Yeah,
Blanchard,
yeah,
Arn. Yeah,
Tully. Yep, that's so. Those were the original four, and I think that was probably one of the best iterations right there.
I'd angled my camera differently had I know we were going to have this conversation. I,
That's fine.
I'd have put it where this belt was in the way.
Ah,
Because
nice,
you
nice.
say Arn Anderson, that's the Arn belt.
Yeah, that's a television title. Yes, I noticed that when you showed it, I was like, oh, I know what that is. So
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
that's going back to my fandom too.
Right.
WCW. I discovered wrestling, and the main event of the show was Ravishing Rick Rude versus Sting on a Clash of Champions.
Ah,
So I
nice,
discovered it
nice.
right after Flair left, and they
Okay.
put Ravishing Rick Rude in, and that's when I got
Mhm.
into wrestling, and I
Right.
discovered it at like 10:35 at night. It was the syndicated stuff. I didn't have cable
Right.
when I was at Grandma's house. Grandma had cable, so I tried to get over to
So
Grandma's
am
house
I.
Saturday and be over there at 6:05.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's my wrestling too, man. That's where I go back
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that I mean, and that was kind of one of the great times for me. I mean, nothing to take away from the WWF era, but around that time, because I was like probably like 7 or 8 at the time,
Okay.
and that was my era. So you had, I mean, I follow guys like Sting and like you said,
Yeah,
Rick Rude, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Ron Simmons, Butch Reed,
stunning
Brian
Steve.
Pillman, yes, stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah,
Nothing against
Hollywood
Stone
Blonde.
Cold, but Stunning Steve Austin. Yeah, exactly. And I grew up on that, and then also around the time I was like I'm going transitioning to my other passion was video games. So
Mm-hmm.
people like, oh yeah, I had a Nintendo, I had a Sega. My uncle, he had what's called a ColecoVision. So I think I followed video games before I followed wrestling. And I want to say I was like 5 or 6. And, it was back in the day where I think it may have came out just before the Atari, but that was the first system that we got into. And then Atari, where you had all the games were named, they named exactly what it was. So it was Pong, it was
Yeah,
Tank, so Pac-Man. So yeah,
yeah.
that's what that right there.
Basketball. Yeah,
Yeah,
hockey.
exactly. Hmm.
Yeah,
And it was, and it's funny because it's like little blocks, so you think like,
yeah,
oh man, this is great. And then you look back on it now, like if my kids grew up on this, they probably would drive themselves insane. So there you go.
yeah, yeah. It's all we had back then, though, and
Hmm.
we didn't know any better. They're not easy to go back and play. Like 8-bit
Hmm.
Nintendo games, man, you can go back and those are so replayable. 8-bit
Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo, 16-bit era.
Yeah,
The early. It's always the early stuff that becomes unplayable. I think early 2D games are, oh,
exactly.
they can be
I mean,
really
you have
rough.
to if with technology in this day and age, you can almost emulate anything because one of my favorite games, and you'll probably hear me say this a lot, Chrono Trigger. It's not on the modern systems, but if you can get a good emulator, you can emulate it on your computer system. So
Yeah.
that's really, really, really good right there. And I think, and before you ask, or if you ask, I think one of my favorite systems is it's got to be the Super Nintendo.
Okay. All
Super
right.
Nintendo was one of it was my go-to.
So I didn't even get to ask what you're nerdy about, but yeah, we're here to talk video games, and
Okay,
I'm always down to talk a little bit of wrestling. So
of course, of
ColecoVision,
course.
Atari. So just a little context. Mind telling us how old you are? I know you're a wrestler. There's some kayfabe there. So
Yeah, no, I can tell you my age. Nobody will believe you anyway if I told you. So, I turned 48 next month,
okay,
and I started training as a wrestler just shy of my 42nd birthday.
ooh,
So yeah, so it's crazy because like I said, I've always been a wrestling fan, and then it's funny because I graduated from Anchorage, Alaska, right? There's no wrestling up there. I
right,
go into the military. I go into the military in 1999, and right when I leave, a year later, there's a wrestling promotion.
yeah,
My first duty station is Hawaii. Now
yeah,
I didn't know it at the time. There was a wrestling promotion there, but at the time I was married, I had a kid, and I
yeah,
was trying to get my life together. And then right when I leave, found out there's a wrestling promotion there, and then I come back here. I get stationed here, and I was stationed. I was deployed 4 times in a row, so I didn't have time to train as a wrestler because I was either getting ready to go downrange, I was already downrange, or I was on my way to get come back downrange. And then after I got out in 2014, and I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? And then I kind of just like, okay, the wrestling is like not in me anymore. And then mutual friend of mine back then, Randy's like, hey, you should try. There's a wrestling school you should try out for it. I'm like, man, I'm too old. I'm almost 42. I got knee surgeries. I'm
See,
big.
that's what
I'm
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 thinking. I'm
not.
45, and my back's flared up tonight, and I'm doing this thing in pain. I can't even think about taking
Right.
a bump in my 40s, man.
Yeah, it's funny though that you say that because so my first training session, I remember a guy locally is well known in wrestling, Big Guns Justin Andrews. I did my first training session with him, and I did a training session with Hard Knocks Jimbo Lucas also, and I thinking like, okay, I know wrestling. I followed it all my life. I should be able to do it. It took me 3 weeks to learn how to run the ropes properly. And then after running the ropes, I'm trying to do bumps, and I'm doing them wrong, and I'm doing them wrong. And then after my first injury, wasn't serious, but then afterwards, after my first injury, I was off for like 2 weeks, and then I came back, and then I started doing the bumps correctly. And I remember Big Guns like, maybe you should get injured more often because you're
Yeah,
picking up on it after
yeah.
the injury. And then I had a little bit of problems picking it up, and then I started being a ref, and because I love the business so much that
Yeah.
I wanted to be a referee. And I remember it because I went to my first wrestling seminar. It was actually at the hillside where the CWC show is, and it was with Manny Lemons, and they were short a ref. And I didn't know how to ref, so they said, "Okay, this is what you do. This is what you do." And then I started refing a few matches, and like, man, you're kind of good at this. If the wrestling thing doesn't pick up for you, you can, be a referee. So I've been a referee for about 3 years, and I've been a wrestler for my career is about 6 years.
Okay.
So there's that.
All right. Well, let's get back to some video game talk.
Of
So,
course, of
all
course.
right. So, what is it that you're playing currently?
I'm playing a lot of games currently. So I finally broke down and I got a Clapscore Expedition 33, and some of the games that I love before I go into it. So I love RPGs, I love action games, and I love a genre called Metroidvanias.
Okay.
Uh, so you know that one. So the one and roguelikes too. I've been getting into that. So
Okay.
let's see what games have I been playing because I play a lot. So up observer Clear playing that. Have a nice death. That's a roguelike. Dang, what else am I playing?
Talk to the audience that doesn't know what's a roguelike.
Oh, okay, so roguelike is a game where I kind of associate this game with life because you're going to fail. And in fact, it's impossible to get the first run. So you go on. They do what's called runs, and you do something, and the stuff that you get along the way, you start over, but you become stronger, and then you keep going and going and going, and you'll get a little further, and you get a little stronger. You'll fail at the running, you'll start over, but you'll get better at it. And that's what a roguelike is. So some of my favorite roguelikes are Hades, see, Dynasty Warriors. I forgot the name of it, but they made a Dynasty Warriors of that. Have a Nice Death. God, there's a lot of games. Also, some of the other games that I like to start playing. They released a Contra on PS5. They remade it. It's the Galuga Wars. I still play that because I grew up playing
A
Contra.
remaster of the 16-bit or a new game from scratch?
So the stages are inspired by the original, but
Okay.
it's a new game, but it's a new game, but it's inspired from the original. So like Contra, Super C, and a couple other stages from there, they made that game. So there's that. But yeah, yeah, so and the funny thing about it is I have a lot of games. So I have like a PlayStation Network, and I have like a hard drive attached to it. And my wife, she saw me the other day, and I was on my gaming screen, and she's like, Tony, I don't know if I read that right. Is that 450 games? I'm like, um. Yeah, but that's all the games that I owned in my life. So they transferred over. I didn't spend I didn't buy 500
Well, yeah,
450
you get
games.
three. You get like what, 3 free games a month too in your library,
Yeah,
for PlayStation Network. So you
yeah,
want all of them
and
for.
then
I'm not
it
gonna say no.
yeah, and the thing about it is I didn't just start it with PS5. There was PS4 and PS3 and
Yeah,
PS2. They just all transferred over. So yeah, that kind of
I
she's
miss the
like,
days when you got Vita games on there, man.
yes,
So
yeah,
had a
Vitas were good too. Yeah,
yeah, I had a PS
but
Vita. I was a district manager for a bookstore chain, so I was
mm,
traveling between here and Iowa, Nebraska, and New Mexico. So a lot
right.
of time on planes and hotel rooms. So yeah, PS Vita. Yeah, I got a lot of use during that time.
Right, right. And it's funny that now that with technology being where it is, you can actually remote play. Cause so I went to so it's funny that I mentioned that because I did a show in Alaska in October, and I had a spare phone with me, and I connected it to my PlayStation, and
Yeah,
it was remote play. And I'm about to show you something real quick. So this is so me being a gamer. You just have this right here, and you have your phone in the center of it,
oh
and let me
yeah,
see. Yeah, and then I'm playing games like in between. I just have to have an internet connection, and
yeah.
and I had Wi-Fi in the hotel, so that was that's kind of past the time right there too.
It's so nice now because there's so many things that we. If you travel a lot, man,
Hmm.
it's great. Or, you know, so my other job when I'm not at Nerdstalgia, I sell mattresses, and
Okay, nice.
boring job. Like you either have a customer or you don't. So
Right,
the iPad becomes your friend. And now that, dude, on Netflix you can download GTA 3 and just sit and
right.
play Netflix. Off Netflix you can play GTA 3 with a controller. But
Right.
sometimes if I remember to keep it up, I can link to my Steam account off of a
Hmm.
different PC and sit and play something. The only one I have on there is WrestleQuest. Have you played that?
I actually have it.
Oh, it's a lot of fun, man.
It
You got a
it's a
large
lot of
PC.
fun. I'm gonna tell you this right now. One wrestling video game that doesn't get a lot of love, and I actually like it more than the two WWE 2Ks. Fire Pro,
Oh yeah,
Fire
yeah,
Pro Wrestling. That game actually made me understand wrestling more, and it's actually more realistic because like
yeah,
when you create a character, and if you try to go for your finisher right out the gate, the your opponent's gonna like either counter it or swat it off, or you're not gonna get a one. You're gonna get a one count if that. But and that's kind of tends to go into wrestling. You gotta build and work a body
yeah.
part and then get to that. So yeah, and
Yeah,
I love that game. I still have it actually.
yeah. Let me give a quick plug at Nerdstalgia. One of the things that we do is we have the game of the day in the back of the store,
Hmm.
so you can sit, you can
Okay.
play whatever video game you want to, or whatever game if it's back there, sit down, no charge, sit and play. We'll usually
Right.
have something up, and then if you want to play a specific game, I've got all the games in my catalog that I don't sell,
Nice.
plus all the games I do sell. And you can choose the game. You rent it $25 an hour. You choose the
Oh,
system, you choose the
nice.
controller, we choose the game. Give you a little VIP controller. Hey, if you heard about it on this podcast, come into the store and tell me you heard about it on this podcast. I'll give you half off of an hour. Um, I have Fire Pro Wrestling. So if you want to check out Fire Pro,
Nice.
stop by the store, reserve your hour, check it out, man. We've got I got an old copy. I think I got a PS1 or PS2. I can't remember which one I still have, but I've got one of them.
Okay, and I got it. I think I got it for PS4, and that was a version when they was doing a co-promotion with New Japan.
Yeah,
So
I've got
they
that
had
one.
Kenny Omega.
I've
Hmm?
got that one too. So I've got that one,
Yeah.
but that one's a digital copy on my hard drive. So I can't
Uh
store
so
it.
I think I have the physical and digital copy of both of them. But yeah, it kind of got me because I started going into New Japan then, and I'm like, okay, I can see that. And then you start playing, and I'm like, okay, this is not like WWE 2K. It was like 2K19 or 2K20 at the time, and I was playing Fire Pro. I was playing Fire Pro a lot. But
Well,
one
that
of the
2K20 game wasn't worth playing really anyway.
no,
So
it was not. It was a buggy mess.
yeah, it
But
was.
one of the WWE games that I did like was SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. That one was a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
SmackDown versus Raw. That was a good one. And
Second
I'm gonna say
from
one. Hmm?
'08 with ECW, I think was a standout to me.
Right. I still have I still have the case. I was in Iraq and WWE superstars came over, and I remember I have to dig up the picture, but it was Randy Orton, Big Show, and Chris Jericho, and I bought the game, and here I am, and I'm like, I'm a mark, and I'm like, I'm having the
Yeah.
game, and I remember Show was the nicest guy, and and this is when I'm gonna turn back the clock here. This is when Jericho punched Michael's wife when they had that feud.
Oh
So
yeah,
that came on
bad
Monday.
shit.
They were coming on Tuesday, and I got to talk to Chris for about 5 minutes, and they're like, "Yeah, they got wrestling coming on over here." Like, yeah, y'all the reason why we kind of have them around because I mean it's not nothing really to do out here. So, but they all signed it, and like I said, that's one of the pictures. I think I still have the pictures digitally. I just have to dig for them because they're so old. But yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah.
So to me, the ultimate of wrestling games, though, were the
Hmm.
N64 games, man.
Ah, yes, yes, they
Yeah.
were. So, No Mercy, if I remember correctly, No Mercy, and what's another one? Because I didn't
No
have a
Mercy,
N64, my cousin did.
No Mercy, and WrestleMania 2000 were the two WWF games.
Yes, yes, those
Before
I
that,
used to
though,
play.
there was WCW versus the World, WCW NWO Revenge.
Revenge, yes, yes,
And then
and
if you come to Nerdstalgia, I've got a repro of the WCW versus the World cart. They reproed
mm,
all the arenas and wrestlers and factions to 1992
nice.
WCW Saturday Night. So you got like the
Oh,
Horsemen,
nice.
you've got the Freebirds on there, you've got Surfer Sting, uh,
Hmm.
uh, all the people from the Dangerous Alliance. Like that game's so much fun to use on that
Oh,
engine.
it was. It was fun. Like I said, I used to go. So my cousin used to live around my grandmother's house, and like you mentioned, my grandmother had cable too. So that was when I could watch TBS and whatnot. So and then after that, I would go over to my cousin's house and play his N64. There's a wrestling game that's not a wrestling game, and I'm kind of sad they don't. Well, it's a wrestling game, but these are not necessarily wrestlers.
Are you going the way
And
I'm going? Because that's where I was going to go.
where are you gonna go?
Let me know. I said, are we going the same direction?
Okay, Def Jam
Hell
Vendetta.
yeah. Hell yeah.
So Def Jam Vendetta and Def Jam
Fight
Vendetta,
for New York.
the second one, Fight for New York. That was my favorite one.
And
Third
then
one was
there's
trash.
Icon. Icon was
Icon was not that good
it was
though.
trash. It was
It was
terrible. It
trash.
killed the franchise.
Yeah,
I was so
the gimmicks
excited.
were horrible, but Fight for New York was great.
I
I
tell people,
absolutely love it.
I tell people all the time it's the closest I came to playing with Barbie dolls because I unlocked all the tattoos, all the jewelry, all the clothes, all the shoes, the hats, the
Yep.
hairstyles, and I changed myself out for every fight,
Yeah,
and everything
exactly,
would have to
exactly.
match.
I was so, and then the one thing I hate about social media in this day and age, because a couple of years ago they said they were making they were making a sequel to Fight for New York, and I fell for it. I'm like, oh, they're gonna make it the Fight for New York, and then it turns out the advertisement was fake. And I'm like, oh man, are you serious? But yeah, I loved Def Jam Vendetta and then Fight for New York.
Yeah,
That was in my library for the longest time.
still in the
That actually,
Nerdstalgia library. Last
yeah,
time I saw that
I would
thing,
drop in just for that right there.
I often pick those for game of the day because I love playing them, man.
Oh
I've been
god,
having
they're
fun.
great.
So when I have the time, I'll get there early in the morning before the store opens and just sit on my
Right,
GameCube and unlock some characters on Vendetta. I'm playing through Vendetta right now. Then I'll probably play for fight for New York again. But yeah, those games
right.
are fun. The same engine makers, that was the same idea when they made the AEW game. It's a little clunky,
Hmm.
slow, but similar engine. It's fun.
Right, right, and some of one of the things that I will say, and it might be a hot take, but I'm gonna say it anyway, is that people are too critical on games these days. Because I
Oh yeah,
mean, back in the day when we came out, I mean, so number one, if the game we did they didn't have patches.
yeah,
So if you bought the game was, if somebody misspelled a word or the English translation was messed up, it was okay. Because, like, for example, when you played Final Fantasy 3, it wasn't perfect,
yeah,
but at the time it was great.
yeah.
Or
Figured it out.
Final Fantasy, yeah, exactly. Or Final Fantasy 6, where I mean not Final Fantasy 6, but Secret of Mana or something like that. But now with everybody, we got games and we got updates and we got patches and people are too critical. I mean, I'm like, dude, it's just a game.
People are
Have
critical
fun
of
with it.
everything, man.
Exactly. Kind of like
Comic
with
book movies.
wrestling too.
When they talk about comic book movies, and I'm like, man, we had we had Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher, and we had the dude from
Exactly.
Baywatch as Nicolas Cage. Like,
Nick Fury, yeah. David
Yeah,
Hasselhoff,
Nick Fury,
exactly.
yeah,
I know who you're
yeah,
talking about. We didn't have so like I said, and I tell my kids all the time, especially my youngest. I'm like, dude, he's 12. It's like you're spoiled. You are
yeah,
so spoiled
yeah,
because the MC we didn't have the MCU then. We had the
right,
Fantastic Four, which are trash. We had the two Captain America movies, which are trash.
yeah.
The Spider Man, we did the Spider Man, didn't look like Spider Man, and the only time that Marvel started to get good was when Blade came out,
Yeah,
and DC was actually decent because you had Christopher Reeve's Superman, you had Batman, which everybody and when it first came out, they're like Michael Keaton can't be Batman, he's too funny, and now
killed it,
he's Batman.
killed it. Yeah,
Yeah, he killed it.
that was my Batman, dude.
That was my Batman
I was
too.
I was 8, 9 years old when that came out, man. So
Hmm.
yeah, Jack Nicholson's my Joker. Yeah, that's my stuff
Exactly.
there, man.
I
Uh,
grew and I loved it. I loved it.
yeah. So hey, speaking of the store a little bit more, just a quick plug here. We're talking about video games. You come in and play, come in and rent, but we sell video games, we sell systems, we buy as well. So if you got something you want to get rid of, get some credit for something else, get a little bit of cash. The Citadel Mall, they just closed the GameStop. So, hey, we're there for you. You can still stop by, and we're just downstairs from where they used to be. So, uh, video games, but also other physical media like music, comics, movies, all kinds of wrestling merch, all kinds of toys and collectibles. If you're into autographs, if you're into belts like I was holding up,
Nice.
whatever you're nerdy about, we carry something for you. So come check us out. And just don't come on a Monday. We're not open on Mondays, but we're open in mall hours 11 to 8, unless it's Sunday 11 to 6. Come check us out, or nerdstalgia.shop is where you can check us out online. Make sure you've liked, make sure that you have subscribed, and we'll talk a little bit more video games. So, um, Tyson,
Yes,
what
sir.
makes you so nerdy and passionate about video games?
Number one, the fact that I have three PlayStation 5s in my house, four if you count my son, so there's that. And if I am not, so with me, I'm a very boring individual. If I'm not working out or I'm not doing something training, wrestling training related, I'm probably playing video games of some sort. And and I'm actually, to be honest with you, I kind of simmered down a little bit because back in the day when I was younger, when I was in the military and I only had one kid, what I would do is I would buy two video games every pay period. And back in the day, games were like $60, so I spent like $240 a month on the video games, and that
Yeah,
kind of became a problem. And like I said, I love it's I think that video games for me is a therapy, or but it can or but yeah, video games could be like with all good things, you have to have them in moderation.
yeah,
Yeah, just like if you go out and you drink wine or something like that, you can't go crazy wine. Have a wine every now and again, or have an alcoholic beverage every now and again,
yeah.
and just have it in moderation, and that's what I do. So
I
if I'm
might
not
play that.
working,
I might have to
hmm?
play that section for my 12-year-old.
Yeah, yeah, I got to play that for my 12-year-old because I literally like, hey, is your room clean? Yeah. And then I look at his room not clean, and I turn off his Wi-Fi. I'm like, Dad, did you turn on my Wi-Fi? Yes. Why? You know why? And then I was like, okay, my dad's
I've
room's
pulled
clean.
that
Then
in
I turn it
before.
back on. I've done that. He could I love my kid, but he couldn't survive in my era because number one, you wouldn't do video games all day because number one, I kind of grew up poor, so we only had one TV in the house,
Oh,
and we had a Nintendo, and the one of the rules was TV always overrides video games. So
yeah,
if somebody wanted to watch TV and you were playing video games, game went off. And also, mom sent you outside. She didn't want you in front of that TV all day. Just
yeah,
be in before the sun goes down.
yeah.
I do not know how we did not get kidnapped though. 'Cause we were all the way
Well,
across town doing stuff. So.
well, that's probably more a reflection of our media making everybody scared. It's not like there's any more kidnappings; they just get reported more.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
very true. But yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of blessed to grow up in the era that I was because number one, I mean, I love playing video games, but at the same time, uh, we went outside. My mom or my parents knew whose house I was going over, or we didn't have GPS, so we had to give ghetto directions. Like, okay, go down to the street to the yellow house, make a right, go
yeah,
down about three
yeah,
blocks, make a
yeah.
so
Oh,
so that's how it was. And like I said, and you knew the time. Like I said, you didn't have GPS, so if you was far off, and then it's like, hey, the sun's about to go down. I think I should make my way back home, and I got to be in before the lights come on, and then just make it so you don't get in trouble. But yeah,
yeah.
like I said, I grew up on Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. What else? What else? What else? And then as I got older, I strayed away from Nintendo and I started going into PS4, PS4, the PS series.
Yeah.
But I do got to give the other systems some love. So, like for example, I love fighting games, and one of my fighting games that I did love, other than Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and King of Fighters, I love Killer Instinct.
Oh, yeah,
Killer,
yeah.
especially Killer Instinct 2, and then the reboot that they did a few years ago. That was great, and I used to have an Xbox. I want to say it was an Xbox One. I had to get rid of it, but I only had it for that particular game.
Yeah.
Didn't have it for Halo. Didn't have it for anything else. I just had it for Killer Instinct. That was it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reason I wanted an N64 was for the wrestling games. That
And GoldenEye.
See, I was never a GoldenEye guy. Conker's Bad
What?
Fur. I sucked at it. I didn't have an N64 growing up, so I sucked at it. But
Okay.
from the same developers, so it just wasn't fun being the first one to always lose, not know what you were doing.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
but Conker's Bad Fur Day from the same developers. That was a
Yes,
blast.
from Rare.
Okay, give me a chipmunk with a chainsaw, man. I'm good to go.
Yeah, Rare made a lot of good games back in the day. So like Killer Instinct, Conker's
Hmm.
Bad Fur Day,
The Donkey
Banjo
Country,
Kazooie. The what?
Country games were rare.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, all three of those. They made bangers back in the
Perfect
day, and
Dark.
you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, I so it's funny because my brother, my me and my brother and my cousin, we would play GoldenEye. Rulers you couldn't pick Odd Job, which I found funny because Odd Job's a very tall character in the movie, but in the video game he's the shortest character, and every time you try to aim for him, you get shot because he's so small. So I never understood that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing on it because I didn't know the game. So, but yeah, I got
Right.
it for later in life and discovered Conkers, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Conquerors is fun. Like I said, my favorite was GoldenEye. Perfect Dark was a good one. Donkey Kong series, I got into that. So yeah.
The My games. So I like wrestling games, and I
Hmm.
like story adventure games.
Okay,
Uncharted
that's
and
a good one.
Spider Man. I do love the GTA, but I never have the time or focus to finish them. God of War.
Right.
Like
Great
those
series. Great
ones,
series.
those are the ones that I enjoy. Last of Us. Yeah, the Naughty Dog games are usually super solid.
Right. I think one of my favorite. So when story games for me, and all those are great. So I did finish the God of War trilogy, the first one, not
Mm-hmm.
not this one that just got released. But
Still need to play
yeah,
Rag.
I haven't played right. So the funny thing about it is I download both God of War and God of War Ragnarok, but I haven't played it. My One of
I
my
hear you.
friends' kids came over and played it, but I played the original three.
Yeah,
And and you know the feeling when you finish
I played
two, you
PSP games too, man. Those PSP
yeah.
games were solid. Yeah,
Hmm. And it's funny because, like I said, you play God of War 2, and then the cliffhanger at the end of that, and then you got to wait 2 more years, and I might as well spoil it because the game's over 20 years old. You find out that Zeus is your father, and then
yeah,
you got to kill him, and then you got to wait. Like I was like, oh man, I got to wait 2 years before they release this game. That sucks, you know. So,
yeah.
but yeah, that is a great. That God of War is one of my favorite.
Yeah, you
It's one
should
of my
definitely
favorite
check out
ones.
the new ones, man. I played the first one right away, and the second one I didn't have the cash at the time, so I waited. I
Hmm.
picked it up over a Black Friday sale last year. It was like $20, man. So I'm like, yeah, it's the time to play it. I'll get time
Yeah,
sometime in my life. I'll have time to sit and play it.
right,
So, man, we could talk video games, wrestling all night long, but yeah,
right.
I try
But
to
you can't do that.
yeah I try to keep these around an hour so people will actually watch them too. So.
Right, right.
Uh,
No, that makes perfect sense.
But like I said too, my back is flared up, so I'm
I
all I'm thinking
understand that.
about is getting
Epsom
back
salt.
to backs.
You're
Uh,
right.
I'm at that stage of life, so
Oh,
um,
I am too. I'm just a little bit nuts though, because there should
right.
be no reason why I'm doing what I do, but I enjoy doing what I do, and
Hey,
I'm
that's
still
what,
doing it,
man.
so I might as well.
If you enjoy it and you can do it, man, do what you love. Um, I spent a lot of time doing what I needed to do to pay the bills.
Mhm. I
I'm at a
understand.
stage of life where I can start transitioning to doing what I want to do. So we'll get nostalgia the rest of the way off the ground, and we'll do that.
So, speaking of video games, I am, and this is kind of like a year and a half in the making. I was talking about doing this. So, I'm going to be making a streaming channel, and I even have the name of the show. It's called Switch Flicks Rage Quit Sessions. And it's just basically me playing video games. I'm not saying I'm the best at it. I'm not saying like I'm at good like Face Clan or anything. It's just me either playing video games or showing some of my matches or some showing matches that I enjoy and stuff like that. And I'm about 90% done with the overlay. But if they follow me on my Facebook, it's SLIKK Tyson Stone, or on Instagram Slick_Tyson_Stone, and that's where I will be announcing the times that I'll be doing it. May do it a couple hours live, and then post
Platform?
afterwards.
What platform?
So right now, platform is going to be on Twitch, and as soon as YouTube gets their stuff together, going to be on YouTube as well.
You're not an appearance or anything, but you're going to be at the CWC show. That's at the
Yes,
Hillside Center, the same 24th. You can catch wrestling in the day and then again at night.
at night, yes, and I will. Okay, so I may referee because, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I do a referee, so I will be doing that. So we got that on the 24th, and on the 21st of February, we have One Revolution Wrestling.
Yeah.
I There is a 95% chance I will be performing on that show. Check it out. So you can cheer me or boo me or whatever. Just show up and have a good time. That's all I ask.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try to make that show too. I'll be
Okay.
hanging out at the JCW show here in a week and a half. And
Nice, nice. Have fun for me.
and yeah, there's some banger matches. I watched the episode tonight, and it was Cowboy James Storm against
Nice.
Ken Kennedy. That was the main event.
Buddy, I did a seminar with him a couple of months back. I
Yeah,
did yes, I did. Great guy. It's kind of I did one of my finishers kind of emulates his a little bit. A reverse STO, so that you could tell I'm a fan of his.
yeah. So yeah, with Vince Russo writing their show, looks like they're going to be hitting Denver pretty often. This is here in
Nice,
November and then again in January. So I don't know if
nice,
that's
nice.
a consistent schedule or not. And then AEW is going to be around at the end of February. So
Hmm.
for that. And then I'll have to check out the One Revolution show. Uh,
Of
so
course.
um, so we talked about a lot of different video games. We talked about genres of video games. We spouted some
Hmm.
off. Um, if somebody wanted to check out some of the genres that you mentioned, what would be some games that you'd recommend? So you talked about Metroidvanias. That
Metroidvanias.
Metroid and Castlevania, and it's a puzzle type of game where you have to go further to get a key to go back to find a
Yeah.
door. So to me, it's a confusing mess, but I like a nice linear game. But
It can be, but here's the thing about it. So
my kid
so
loves
Castle.
my 23-year-old man. He loves a Metroidvania.
Oh yeah, they're great because I mean, you start off, you have no abilities, no powers, no nothing, but then you go to an area you can't perceive, but then you get an ability and like, hey, I have a problem getting over there. Maybe I can use that ability to go through, and you do that, and then next thing you know, 16 hours of your life has just been swept away. So there you go.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so I could tell you some of my suggestions. So for Metroidvanias, you can't go wrong with Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Any Metroid, Metroid Prime. If you got Metroid, the new one that just came out, the one that just literally just came out on Switch. I forgot the name of it already, but that's a good one. Also, there's one called Bloodstain Symphony. Bloodstain. That's a good one. For wrestling games, I don't play played a lot of the new ones. I know I heard that 2K WWE 2K25 is good, but for
Oh
me personally,
yeah,
I I love Fire Pro Wrestling. So
yeah.
there's that. Fighting games, you can throw a stone in either direction. You can get a good fighting game. So it just depends what you're into. So
Street Fighter's a
more
perfect place to start
Street
there.
Fighter Six is great.
Three coming out.
Yes. So Street Fighter Six, if you like that kind of stuff, uh, I'm I'm not saying Mortal Kombat One is bad, but the story is a little bit convoluted. King of Fighters, Mark of the Wolves, that's a good one. And what? Oh, on Roguevania, not Roguevanias, but Roguelikes. Hades, can't go wrong with Hades.
Mhm.
Have a Nice Death. What's some other ones? What is some other ones?
I like
Dang,
Binding
I
of
had
Isaac.
like a book.
Binding of
Huh?
Isaac I thought was fun for a
Hmm.
roguelike. You ever
Yeah.
play that one?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Yeah,
But
it's
like I
it's
said,
a cutesy little game that's M rated. Apparently, I like those. I
yeah.
like Conkers and I like that.
Yeah, and like I said, if you want an introduction to if you want an introduction to roguelikes, Hades would be your best one. But just remember that you're going to suck. Okay, you're not going to go through the first. You're not going to go through the all the way to the end of the first run, or the second run, or the fifth run, or the 12th run. You're going to suck. But as you get better, you progress further and then you get through it. So, and that's such as life. You're not going to be as good at something right out the gate.
Okay, that that's true. That's good words. All right. Well, man, it's been fun talking to you. Like I said, we could probably talk games and wrestling games all night. We didn't even bring up wrestle.
Yes.
Man, I so want to get that arcade cabinet. I had one that took quarters, man. There'd already be one in the store where I could make a little bit of change back then.
Right.
But
Right. And
I
and
love
thank you
that.
for having me on the hey, I thank you for having me on. It's pleasure is all mine. Like you said, we could have been talking about this for another 2, 3 more hours, but your back is killing you, and
Yeah,
I get it. I
got
get it.
life
But thank
to
you
live
for
too.
having me on.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure we both got stuff we need to get to. So
Yes, sir.
I,
Yes, sir.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so
Pleasure is
much.
all mine.
Check out the store. Follow Instagram and Facebook. SLIKK Tyson Stone. See where he's going to
And
be.
you too.
Check him out. Check him out on the YouTube.
Hmm.
I'll figure out how we can link up YouTubes here. We'll that way people can see your YouTube link to this one when they click on there, and maybe somebody will
Right.
find me clicking on your YouTube channel. So we'll
Gotcha.
work
Gotcha.
together on this. So make sure we give each other some follows. If you're a fan of one, check us out. We talk
Yes,
if you like
sir.
wrestling, man. We talk a lot of wrestling on here because you can go to pwtorch.com. Check out the opinion section, the top 5 lists. I have a weekly column there. Was just on the Raw After Show with Wade Keller on Monday. That was a fun show to cover. And man, there's never an off season. There's never a dull time. It's one of the things I love about wrestling. There's always something new,
Of
fun, exciting
course.
to talk about. Sometimes it's terrible, and that's fun to talk about. And sometimes it's great, and that's fun to talk about. So
Of
if you like
course.
about that kind of stuff, video games, music, movies, comic books, check out the store. If you're not in Colorado Springs, just give us a follow on YouTube. Chat with us into the comments below so you can discuss. Until the next time, thank you guys so much, and we'll sign off.
Thank you, sir.